The banquet hall was buzzing until Harlan Briggs raised his voice. I felt dozens of faces turn toward me as he slammed his hand against the microphone stand. "There he is," he shouted, "the family's resident charity case. Travis, come on up. Tell everyone what it's like being almost 35 with nothing to show for it." My blood ran cold. I wasn't prepared for the spotlight, the microphone shoved into my chest, or the cameras raised by nosy aunts who loved drama more than dessert. Harlan leaned forward, voice booming. "You still working that? What is it? Odd jobs, temporary contractor, whatever keeps the bills barely paid." Some relatives winced, someone whispered, "Not again." Harlan laughed at his cruelty. "You know, Travis, ambition's a real thing. Some of us have it, some of us don't." My chest tightened, my hands shook, not with rage, just disbelief. And then came the line that would change everything. "Some people are born to lead," he said, tapping his watch, "and others are born to watch, isn't that right?" The room went silent, a silence that felt like a verdict. 2 months later, I would walk into his board review, calm, prepared, holding evidence that would collapse his career. But at that moment, all I could do was swallow the humiliation and let the seed of something sharper grow inside me. My name is Travis. That night wasn't the first time Harlan humiliated me, just the first time he made sure everyone watched. I grew up in a family where worth was measured by outward success, the size of your house, the brand of your car, your title on paper. My branch of the family tree never had much of any of that. Dad worked construction. Mom ran a bakery from our kitchen. I did whatever jobs kept the lights on. Harlan married my cousin Danielle 8 years ago. He walked into our family with a tailored suit, a VP title at an energy company, and an arrogance that could fill a stadium. People admired him. They laughed at his jokes. They forgave his cruelty because that's just how he is. But he hated me from day one, not because I wronged him, because I didn't worship him. He wanted to be the center of gravity. I refused to orbit him. That alone made me his favorite target. That night, though, the reunion, something shifted. When I got home, I sat on my bed, fully dressed, staring at the wall. Humiliation hurts, but clarity can be dangerous. That was the night I realized something simple and sharp. If a man wants to crush you publicly, it's because he fears you quietly. And I decided I would find out exactly what he feared. The morning after the reunion, I didn't wake up angry, I woke up analytical. I replayed years of conversations. The pattern became obvious. My family worshipped anyone with status and dismissed anyone without it. Harlan fed off that dynamic. He didn't just want power, he needed an audience to admire it. Then I remembered the small crack in his armor I'd overheard in the hallway just before he dragged me up. "You don't understand," he snapped at Danielle. "If they see weakness, it spreads. I can't look like I'm losing control." Losing control of what? That question became the first thread I pulled. 2 days after the reunion, my Aunt Edith confirmed it. She whispered that Harlan's company was doing internal evaluations on upper management, an audit. A spark landed on dry grass. An audit, a company-wide evaluation. A VP suddenly terrified of looking weak. My humiliation wasn't personal. I was collateral damage in his fear of losing status. I grabbed my notebook and wrote one word, audit. I circled it. I knew nothing about Harlan's company beyond what he bragged about at dinners, but braggers always leak more than they intend. Our board is full of old men with fragile egos. The compliance team couldn't catch a cold. Procurement is drowning in paperwork. I spent evenings researching the company, structure, divisions, board members, CEO, annual reports, legal filings, public complaints, employee reviews. Then I found something that made my pulse spike. An SEC filing mentioning irregularities in 3 departments, one managed by Harlan. A second spark, a second thread. Financial IREGULAITIS, DEPT, OVERSIGHT DBY, If the board was reviewing him, they needed information. The idea crystallized, not sabotage, not illegal revenge, just truth, exposed strategically, presented at the right moment, in front of the right people. The first key ally was Danielle. She called me shaken. "He's scared the board is going to audit his division. He thinks someone, reporting things behind his back." Reporting things, there were things to report. I stayed calm. Inside, the blueprint was forming. Next, I went to the county library to pull public corporate records. A list of vendor contracts tied to Harlan's department revealed a consulting group with payments too high, too inconsistent, too frequent. Something smelled wrong. Outside the library, I froze. Harlan, packing, muttering angrily on the phone, not looking for me but a reminder, move carefully, methodically, silently. This was chess. I had just stepped onto the board. Allies matter. My next came from an unlikely source, the janitor, Mr. Dalton. He'd seen irregularities. He confirmed after cautious conversation. Harlan pushed special vendor access after hours, shredded documents, and ignored protocol. Witnesses are powerful. My own brother, Mark, almost derailed me. Harlan had questioned him about me, fishing for information. I stayed calm. I'm not doing anything stupid. I'm doing something necessary. Don't talk to him again. Don't defend me. Don't explain me. Nothing. Silence was part of the long game. I laid everything across my kitchen table. Vendor inconsistencies, SEC filings, Dalton's testimony, Danielle's confession, public records, invoices, overheard conversations. Individually, nothing could topple a VP. Together, they formed a pattern. Funds funneled through a vendor Harlan personally selected, numbers manipulated, approvals skipped, after-hours access misused, arrogance shielded him. But one piece remained, proof connecting Harlan personally to the misuse. Kelly, an HR assistant I helped 2 years ago, became my access point. She pulled historical approval logs discreetly. The flash drive revealed Harlan's weekend approvals, duplicate invoices, after-hours signatures, personal meeting requests. The vendor company, owned by Harlan's college roommate, conflict of interest, illegal under company policy. This was enough to end him professionally and socially, but I didn't celebrate. This was the weapon, not the impact. 2 weeks until the board review, I began pressure quietly. Anonymous envelope to compliance with suspicious invoices. Noise close enough to rattle Harlan but not incriminate me. Kelly confirmed. Briggs looks nervous. Harlan's panic escalated. He tried confronting me outside my apartment, spouting threats, fury, and insults. I remained calm. His armor cracked, control shifted. The final piece came from my uncle, Harlan's father-in-law. He gave me a folder. Harlan had personally altered performance numbers before submission. Hard evidence. The foundation crumbled. Board review day, I walked in steady. Harlan was across the hall, face fraying. I stepped past him calm. The boardroom was colder than expected. 12 members. Legal pads, laptops, unreadable expressions. We understand you submitted documents, the chair said. Walk us through your findings. I opened the folder. Over 6 weeks, I gathered public info, internal approvals, vendor payments, cross-referenced financial trends. All point to a consistent pattern. I presented vendor approvals, performance discrepancies, recovered shredded documents, conflict of interest violations. One board member nodded, thanked you, remain available. I stood, collected the folder, walked out. The storm had formed behind closed doors. Harlan confronted me again. What did you do? Truth, I said. He stared, mouth slightly open, hands trembling. You ruined me. No, I said, you ruined yourself. I just stopped taking the blame. 2 weeks later, news broke. VP of Operations resigns amid ethical investigation. No mention of me. Truth emerged quietly, inevitably. Danielle left him, thanked me. My uncle invited me over. My brother admitted he should have believed me. I didn't do this for validation. I did it for me. One evening, watching the sunset, I realized. Some people spend their lives trying to feel big by making others small. Real strength isn't loud. Real strength is quiet, steady, patient. I never contacted Harlan again. He never contacted me. Our paths split cleanly. Humiliation tried to take my confidence, but in the silence that followed, I rebuilt my life. The long game wasn't revenge. It was revelation. And walking away calm, dignified, and whole, that was the most satisfying ending.